It's an excellent example, and one of the documentaries I watched on artificial intelligence was pointing out to that correlation you just made as the common sense, as this thing that we as humans instinctively, implicitly, without any particular thought process connect, while machines have not obviously learned the consciousness and the common sense that follows consciousness to achieve that degree of correlations. This takes us to a bit of Symphony domain. Obviously, we've been partnering for some time with you and obviously with your team, and thanks a lot for leading us in the right direction with respect to the workflows that we've also talked about, and we will talk about today in Innovate. The question I have for you is, what's been for you the trigger, to work with Symphony, and what really Symphony help you to achieve beyond what you talked about earlier on, obviously with respect to bringing people closer as when they are remote?
So one of our frustrations, one of my frustrations for a very long time is a lot of our business is transacted over the counter, and there's not easy ways to just electronically transact and settle. And, we have, just for reference, we have, let's call it 85 people here at BFAM, in and around the core fund business, away from the researchers and stuff in AI. And if you look down our trading floor, you would see on any given time a couple years ago, tons of people, or not tons, we only have 85, but tens of people busy typing in all day. They'll be sitting in there just being professional typists all day. You have an idea, you want to get it executed, and then thinking up the idea might take 10 minutes and getting it implemented might take an hour, just because the markets are so efficient by the time oh, hi, how are you, David? I would like to do this. Oh, okay, blah, 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 blah. And you talk to 10 brokers and you get some trades, and then you have to book it in your system, and you have to let your middle office know. And it's we want our people and myself, we want to spend our day thinking at the high level ideas, the things we talk about the machines can't do. And so we were really looking for a solution. How do we get rid of cut and paste and this kind of typing into the machine to kind of transact? And we really couldn't find any solutions that were suitable for our businesses. And part of that is because we're in relatively niche businesses, so there isn't necessarily a huge product demand. There's not, you're not going to have a billion users that want to trade OTC equity vol, for better or worse. So, and we needed a way that we could interact. We were also constrained by what the banks how they would allow us to communicate with them. And so that led us, I guess it was a year and a half ago. So would have been, I think December of 2018 was when I first heard of Symphony. And we had tried a bunch of different things. We tried to work with Bloomberg. We kind of figured out ways to hack into the Bloomberg chats and this and that, but you couldn't really get the information that you needed or communicate be able to communicate in a structured way. And so Symphony really provided us to, tick the most number of boxes for us to replace a lot of that manual process. And we built something, I think Johan, who was our lead developer, spoke last year in Singapore at this same forum or conference. Yes. And discussing what we did. And we built what we call a vol chatbot that allows us to pretty seamlessly replace a lot of that human communication that was happening with a structured way of exchanging that information more efficiently, such that it much more emulates what you would expect to see if you were trading a stock, where you just push a button on your machine and it goes into the market and it gets executed and it comes back and goes into your settlement system, and no human has ever touched it once you put in the order. And so we're trying to find a way to replicate that. And that's how we got to Symphony. We had a meeting. We were able to move things pretty quickly. We did a lot of development work together with your team, and then began the process of onboarding banks and pressuring them to, we built, I guess, an app that's in the Symphony App Store that the banks could download to be able to, that enabled us to transact in a more technology-enabled way. I keep using the same word because I haven't thought of a better way to say it. And we continue to expand our product subset. So we've just rolled out NDF forwards and a bunch of other OTC products, and we're slowly moving through kind of the shopping list of all the things that we trade OTC and trying to get them onto this platform so that we can do it electronically and reduce a lot of the typing and chat monitoring and all these things that humans should be spending their time doing other things.
This has been indeed an incredible journey together, Benjamin. I still remember the early conversations we had and look at where we are today. You are running a portion and a significant portion already of your business on Symphony. And not only you've done that, but you've also inspired us and inspired the brokers and the whole community. And actually, it really helped us to catalyze this idea of SPARC, which obviously for us generalizes some of the, I would say, solutions that you have with Johan and the team have built with respect to pricing discovery, with respect to liquidity discovery, and automating those so that your organization is focusing on higher order activities, in order to make such correlations between flowers and what's going in China, for example. So just in few words, as we wrap up our session, how do you see our relationship moving forward, and how we can make you more efficient and help you generate even greater alpha?
So I think two pieces to that. I mean, the reality is we're all captive to the banks, to the speed with which they're willing to innovate and enable things on their desk and support them. So, and I think that's been our biggest challenge. And so in where we first started, David, which was Equity Vol, we're one of the largest customers in Asia, so people kind of fell in line and they're like, it wasn't that much work for them to do it. We can see that in other areas, though, it's been very difficult to get the banks a lot of times to cooperate on how they send us runs, how they send us axes. Our original goal was really to, I would say, replace the Bloomberg IB chat as our main interaction or main trading interaction. We're pretty neutral about using it. Like if you want to meet for dinner, that's a very, you could use WhatsApp, you could use Bloomberg chat, like a lot of, it is one neutral platform that all the banks have and people have, and it's easy to do that type of stuff. But we really don't want to be doing transactions. We don't want to be receiving runs. We don't want to be getting market data via chat format. And I know that, that's where Symphony has played a key role for us, as Bloomberg really doesn't want to give any of that out. That's where they're kind of got their monopoly. And but banks are the ones originating that data and sending it. And so I would say our biggest challenge right now is convincing the banks to send out a lot of their communication via something like Symphony. That's the next big thing that we would like to see, is the banks putting all their runs, all their pricing, all of that sent through a Symphony type of platform, and then we can electronically ingest that, run our models on it, put it into our database, and once again, not have the human monitoring chats, have the human monitoring ideas and maybe ideas that are generated from that, and monitoring the metadata and what's coming off from that and potential patterns that there could be that humans will pick up and that machines just probably won't pick up.
Well, we are very happy to partner with you and work hand in hand as we have done in the past, and we will continue to do tomorrow. And I see great progress being made with the whole organization, and Brad joining us. I think we are definitely going in the right step, but we could not have done it without you. Benjamin, thank you very much for being with us today. And I really appreciate all the work, all the partnership you are giving us the opportunity to be together. And looking forward to seeing you in Hong Kong very soon.
Thank you, David. Stay safe. And thanks to everyone who joined in today.
Thank you. Well, Sashi, thank you very much. And it's back to you now.